Hey, good evening, brothers and sisters. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. A little behind in my game here. I meant to drop the link. The link is there and available for those who want to join. Today, where I'm coming from, first of all, thank you. It's Sunday. I skipped the church services this morning, and but my faith is strong today, and I'm excited to see what the universe may bring us. um, Today I wanted to come back and go back on some of the topics from before. Stress and faith, those two things, man, they counterbalance. You can judge your level of faith by how much stress you are feeling, how much burden you are carrying. That's a great sign of where you're at with your personal relationship with the universe and all that is. So let me start. Gosh, I feel like I'm starting off so awkwardly, but for those who have already popped in, holy brother, greetings, brothers and sisters. Thank you. Yes, still the doubt. How many milligrams of Talcott can one man take? That is a question. How many milligrams of Talcott can one take? It's yet to be discovered. I'm sure there's plenty of who have felt they've had enough. Lauren K, you tell me. Big Stank. Um, who else? Scott Sidney, Quantum Epic, Sophia, Moose. God bless. Thank you to all who join now and later. Hey, our poll, we are rocking with Jack. You know, boy, I had a whole bunch of thoughts earlier about how smoothly this was going to flow out. Talking about my love, my love for all of you, all of everything. My love is strong. And so I've been giving, what was that thought I was having? Lines in the scripture were in my head earlier, about, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We are in this valley, this little in between born and die, right? We're overshadowed by death every day. So, all right, that's us. I shall fear no evil. Evil. What is evil? Evil might be in opposition to God, maybe an absence of God. What is fear? Fear is that false evidence appearing real. It's that veil that makes us feel alone and apart from God. So for me, I started to associate fear and evil together in my own life. With the recognition we live in duality. There's love and there's fear. Those are the two most controlling forces that humanity experiences. So in my own life and with the trademark, live without fear. I shall fear no fear. Simple as that. Hey, amen. This is where the chat is amazing. It's slower on StreamYard. Here we go. The opposite of evil is live, live, life. We are the opposite of evil when we live. And so what does it mean to live? As a man, as a woman, what does it mean for us to live? I was thinking earlier today, the power of love. how important that is. Without love, life is meaningless. There's no purpose without love. I fucking remember that. But here's what I realized. Love is not found in people. Love is not found in things. So it's important to love things and people, but love living so that you can feel love. Because love really is the answer. I know there's a lot of darkness and a lot of chaos, and people are carrying a lot of dealing with. People are facing a lot of confusion, real life confusion in their life. You know, the facts and the evidence is like, holy crap, how did this happen? Or what is going on? If you think you know what's going on, man, keep learning. Keep learning. That's the key to life. Keep learning. I was going that direction for some reason. There's a lot of confusion in this world because confusion has been enabled. It's been profited from. Let's be honest. We live consciously in a physical realm. You and me and everyone we know, we live consciously in this physical realm. In the conscious realm, though, within the mind of each of us, there's light and darkness, just as in the physical and in all perspectives. There's light and darkness, there's opposing forces. Now, in the realm of the mind, in the realm of consciousness, consider the light to be that which you know, or that which can be seen with the mind, information that may be, you know, acknowledged and understood. And then there's the areas of darkness. The areas of darkness may be the areas we've been ignoring. We know that there's material and details within this area, but we've never actually paused our life, you know, to look over in the direction of, hey, how is a dollar created? How does money actually get into the system? Where does it come from? How are profits? Where do profits come from? You know, when you know there's information out there, but unless you stop, actually ask questions and seek clarity, seek to overcome the darkness and the confusion, well, then the darkness remains and you remain ignorant. That's what truly what ignorant is. There's information we know, information we don't know, and then there's information we don't know that we don't know. It's no wonder nobody wants to spend time with me. The things I say sometimes. Stress. The reason I'm bringing up the darkness, there was a reason. The reason I was bringing up the darkness was because these feelings of darkness, these limits on our knowledge, these limits to our awareness, they can make us feel small, you know, hopeless. They can make us uneasy, and we can develop habits and patterns of carrying these anxieties and these heavy thoughts, these painful memories. We've created a society where everybody does that. It's normal. It's not normal and it's not healthy. Hey, I gotta guess, but you know, Sophia, please don't feel sad. My day will come. I would love to have a lunch, and I know there's many who would. I know there are. I saw on Facebook today. Here, I won't be disrespectful. How you doing today, Paul?
Greetings, Mr. Talcott.
Blessings to you. How you feeling?
I just want to get on with this damn event, but these fucking poor brokies out there won't put up or shut up. And they're all, is Jack going to come through? Is he not? I said, I think this time Jack's going to come through. He gave his word. He's doubled and tripled down on it, regardless of even our disagreements. He's excited for the event, just like I am.
I am.
But yeah, we got to wait for the first or third of the month, because a lot of these people get those those WIC cards, you know, those EBT WIC packages.
Hey, you know, I actually had tomorrow in mind. The full moon. Tomorrow's supposed to be a full moon too.
Yeah, but I got 42 left of non-tickets. I just can't, you know, what am I doing here? We got to make these people wait. You know, we really got to like chase the bag, you know, Antoine style, promoting, building it up, generating interest.
There's value in delayed gratification.
Right.
There's also value in moving forward with perfection.
All right. Well, then I guess what you're saying is you're going to like buy out the rest of those non-tickets yourself, and we're going to move forward. So I'll be expecting that come through.
The thought in my mind.
Hey, you can't do that, Talcott.
Hey, I don't know what this means. Numbers dropping. I don't know if you're a good or a bad sign to see in my chat, but
yeah, he's a piece of shit. This is what I mean. He says he's not breaking bad on me. Now he's coming over here and contributing to you. These people don't even contribute to me, a lot of them, I suspect. And then they only come over here to contribute to hate on me. He's the last 20 donations you've gotten are people who don't like me and see that you don't like me sometimes. So they support that. You're getting hate support. There's no support over here out of love. It's all out of hate.
Hey, you know what? I think it's worked both ways, to be honest. And I don't know.
I didn't break bad on him. I might have made a mistake, but I'm pretty sure he's been talking shit around town. And I'm pretty sure him and the Tao are, if not the same person, they're related.
You know what? I'm a fan of the Tao too. And you know, this might be the distinction there, Paul.
So you're such a fascist. He's such a fascist swine that he only contributes and supports when YouTube's going to get 33% of it, right? Got it. We all know what you are now.
Hey, it's convenience.
Oh, yeah. As if that hasn't been the bane of human existence. Convenience and safety. Convenience and safety. The two things that destroyed masculinity.
Here, this is a question. I want no responsibility. So please, all proceeds get accounted through Paul.
Yeah, you're not paying for anything. You're giving a donation contribution free gift, upon which you'll be entered to possibly get back 10x your free gift. And then we will move forward with an event, non-event that we're going to do anyway. So just to be clear, it's friends and family option. There's no payment, no services.
Well, yeah. I don't know. So beyond that, how you feeling today? How's it been going?
How do I feel every day, Talcott? I'm alive. I'm fucking powerful. I'm inspired. I'm inspiring. I'm blessed, thankful, and grateful. I extend mercy to my enemies who are not my enemies, but wish to make an enemy out of the truth. You know, I can't complain.
Hey, Michael.
Is that Moose Creature?
No. It's welcome, brother. It's a face I haven't seen before.
Hey, gentlemen.
How are you, sir? Where did you come from? We haven't seen you before. You're one of them Jesse Howe creatures, aren't you? You came over from Jesse Howe's.
Oh, holy cows. It is,
isn't it?
No, I just connected the name. Holy cows. It's a pleasure and an honor to meet you, my friend. We just connected through
Triple dittos.
Messenger. Hey, God bless. I don't know much about
Correct.
Michael. The hope is we're going to get to know each other. This is one of my inspirations, Paul Unslaved. I'm not sure if have you come across Paul yet? He's an interesting
tiny
character.
He must have seen the OnlyFans. I saw by his hand.
We need more of those.
OnlyFans? I agree. I support that.
Nope.
Anyway, hey, my purpose today was just to share, honestly, some fellowship and faith. That was my inspiration for today. And I did want to bring up and try and help offer some tips on stress, how to put down that burden, knowing which parts to pick back up. And I don't know, just go from there. Thoughts?
You want me to do this segment as Paul Enslaved or as Slav Guru?
However you're comfortable. Whatever. These are things that, well, I don't know. Actually, Paul, there's a unique situation here, and I don't mean to put. There's always a unique situation here, Paul. What do we do? How do we, where my mind is going is, how do we get along better, communicate with each other better, and build this community? Build the community that will be the movement, right? That transforms the world. That's the goal.
Mr. Talcott, you are saying we are working with stress. You all know what I am saying about this. There is no such thing as stress. Only human beings choosing stressful thoughts.
I love that. When I put down stress, I recognized comes from our ignorance, our lack of clarity in resolve. Because the ego part of us, the primitive part of us, it always wants completion. It wants the answers and conclusions, results. Because it's always seeking. There's there's an inner drive within us to grow. But when we find these walls, the limits to our knowledge, where beyond that we're ignorant, and then we start feeling, well, the patterns in society is people place themselves in denial and they imagine answers, don't seek further. You got something, Michael?
I'd like my camera to have manual exposure, but I'm a geek with photography and filmmaking, and I'm stuck with mediocre equipment for the time being. But a thought that came to me from an associate feels relevant at the moment, which is that so many of the problematic circumstances we're seeing are trauma. They're folks that have received some sort of trauma, and then kind of like a fraternity, they pass it on to the next generation. They spanked us, so we're going to spank you. And so it just keeps going from one generation to the next. So as with some conflicts you and I have seen recently, it occurs to me that we need actual professional, and there's a problem with the certification levels, but professional counselors, professional therapists, just people that have skills or experience with it, because I'm an amateur at this kind of stuff.
Mr. Talcott,
Yes.
isn't it so? One of our problems with modern day society is that we are constantly looking to professionals, as you say, for our remedy rather than looking to the provisional, Mr. Talcott.
Slav Guru, we are on agreement in that. And Michael, I was wondering, I know nothing, but would you care or be willing to explain the Mankinder founder? What is that?
So Mankinder, the Mankinder concept emerged from uh, from my research in the COVID chaos and everything else, but it really started for me with the California fires. I was in the Los Angeles area. Now I'm in the San Diego area. Um, so I left Chicago. All right, it's getting a little bit tangenty. Um, at any rate, the presence of Agenda 21, not just it's coming, but it's here, became evident to me in the fall of 2017 with the California fires, which hit NorCal in October and SoCal in December. So it was kind of obvious that things are not as they were presented in the commercial media. So I started researching and figuring out what was coming and what we needed to do to get around it. And so January of 2019, I really started putting the team together. We knew that what was coming was mandatory vaccination and excessive electromagnetic frequency, aka 5G, right? So that particular combo package was the thing you couldn't talk about for a long time on the social medias as the COVID chaos got rolled out. So in terms of what we need to transcend these attacks, and I would suggest that what's under attack is not just humanity, which is a problematic word etymologically, or mankind, but actually all carbon-based life in this realm. What struck me that we need to do is figure out what we're for. So you can say well, I'm a libertarian, or I'm a voluntarist, or I'm a Republican, and these demon rats are destroying the world, and all these things have little parts of truth, but without unity, I feel we are far more endangered than we would be if we were to pull together. So I felt we needed a unifying brand. What would that be? And I chose not to use the word human or humanity. Black's Law Dictionary provides a clue as to why, but to focus on mankind. And as I thought about it, it was interesting that the word kind is in there, and kindness is important, and that perhaps we could be kinder. So to build a kinder world for mankind, we would need strategies to strengthen mankind. So strategies to strengthen mankind is the slogan for Mankinder. So I'm a Mankinder as a person who likes farms and farming, is a farmer. I'm a Mankinder, and maybe you are too.
I friggin' love it.
It's a little rambling, but I can improve.
Hey, and I apologize.
Mr. Talcott,
Yes, brother.
I am oftentimes speaking that kindness, while it may be applicable and important, more it is important what kind of person you are as far as principles and character.
True, those two go together. They can and should go together in my views and my perspective, because
Absolutely.
if we only look out for,
I remember.
go ahead.
Or I remember Tom Selleck, the celebrated actor of Magnum PI, had an organization called Character Counts, and I got a kick out of that. For me, the Mankinder concept is just an empty box of various associations, like maybe Tom Selleck's character counts, like maybe Slav Guru's association, and Live Without Fear, and it's just an empty box that requires that we choose the contents carefully, and then collaborate and co-brand and give our teammates more praise and more assistance, and perhaps sometimes constructive critique when necessary, than just character assassination, which we see far too much of amidst people that are supposedly on our side. But I swear, I've been more targeted and sabotaged by people on our side than I have been affected by Fauci or Gates or any of the other demons.
I believe that. Paul, you probably, well, Slav Guru, you've experienced that yourself. We certainly get challenged, and brother, I agree completely. My purpose, this Live Without Fear, it is the idea that we can love living, even though it's scary, even though it's stressful, even though there's lots of reasons to be afraid and angry. We can still find reasons to love it. And when we love it, and that's the reason for living, is love.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like your vibe and your ability to maintain an even keel through conflict and keep laughing. Uh, I lucked out. I cannot take any credit for any good stuff I've had or done. It's all credit to my parents. They were paragons of integrity and raised me with love and joy and constant hugs and kisses and happiness and laughter. Um, so it's my gift and opportunity to pass it on. But what we often encounter is those folks who have trauma and are legitimately cautious, guarded, shields up, whatever. It's really hard to play cool with them because they're ready to fight, and I'm like, can we play instead? Or no, not yet. Okay, cool. Tell you what, you have a fight. I don't do fight, so I'm gonna take off. But God bless you. Have fun.
But Mr. Michael, wouldn't you say there is a time where you must stand and fight?
Well, yeah, you certainly got to defend yourself, and you got to have boundaries. And too often, I was a complete idiot and allowed myself to be trampled, and frankly, I deferred to my subordinates and wasted decades of my life, and did not fight for myself and did not protect myself, and I feel that came from low self-esteem, which honestly I feel low self-esteem might be the world's greatest problem. And the school system did a the corporate school system did a fun spin on that, right? So we're gonna give people fake self-esteem, you know, which ultimately does not prepare you. It's like, I'm gonna help this butterfly emerge from the pupa, so I'm gonna peel off the the wrapping so he can fly, and then he doesn't build the strength to fly, so it dies. So yeah, you just help all these students to have high self-esteem and no achievement. Fantastic. Now they get into the job market and start making demands.
And this is what I am saying. This is what I have been saying, Mr. Talcott. That love may be a reason to live, but without purpose, we are not living fully, isn't it?
Absolutely. And those two go together, because this is exactly what I've been learning, greatly articulated by Gabor Mate. I'm assuming you're familiar with him. Yeah. Okay. That's what I realized too, is that it's the childhood trauma that has been never healed because our mainstream society profits from sickness, not from healing. So we've got all these people that are still carrying childhood trauma, creating excuses and blaming others for why they are not living a greater life. And it's exactly the two go together. When we feel small, we don't pick a greater purpose. When you don't have a purpose, life gets tough and you feel small. They go together. And shame, I heard this in a recent sermon from church. I thought it was beautiful. It's actually shame that prevents us from hearing the voice of God, the voice of each other. Our shame keeps us apart, and it's insanity.
Mr. Talcott,
Yes,
there
brother.
is purposes for everything in universe, including feelings like shame. Shame can be there to stop you from doing wrong things again and again, again and again.
Amen. There is a purpose for it. But then we get to learn. We get to remind ourselves, I don't want to carry that. I don't want to carry that. I don't want to feel that way again. So when we connect the dots and realize cause and effect, these actions result in this feeling, we stop doing the actions. But that's only when we, bring our light of awareness into what we're doing. And, how do you, self-awareness can be taught. I'm confident of that. And I think if we start teaching children self-awareness, how to understand, interpret, and articulate their feelings, we won't have a society of people living in shame, creating excuses for why they're not living a better life. I'm glad we met. These, and to all the, thank you. Thank you, brothers. These are the conversations I yearn for.
Well, to be continued, Jack. I really appreciate your grace and kindness. And I got to jump to another call, but to be continued.
Please, I hope so. Thank you again. Hey, is there a place I should share? Mankinder.net. I'll put that in the description. Okay.
That's it. It's
God bless.
mediocre for now, but it's hidden in plain sight. Just a few little nuggets, just only to get the great people behind the scenes. And thank you, Slav Guru, for your wisdoms.
Absolutely, Mr. Michael.
All right, brother. Have a good day. We'll connect later.
He's a very busy man, Mr. Talcott, it seems. Very busy.
Hey, dang it. Here, just sorry, my mind is totally
What are you thinking, Mr. Talcott?
I was trying to bring up his stuff so I could drop it in the link. I'm a little bit slow. I think I've got it. I believe this is it. The future, the present, the past. Trying to gain clarity out of all of those things. Where I've been learning a lot of these tricks on surrender, acceptance. Slav Guru. I think acceptance is what keeps us in the darkness, our lack of acceptance. That's the key, true ignorance. When we deny information that's available, love that's available. I did that. We are ignorant. Thoughts, Slav Guru?
Mr. Talcott, isn't it true that acceptance can be either good or bad, depending? I am not accepting something that is untrue and not accepting something that is true.
Okay. However, we can accept that an untruth exists, that there's people that believe in foolish things. We can accept that.
Yes, like ending wars and legal secrets. Very, very foolish.
God bless. You know what? How is that ignorant? How is that foolish? Ending wars is the reason I live. Peace. Here, let me run with this, please, because peace. That's what love is. Love brings the peace, because when you're filled with love, you seek nothing else. You're more complete and full. Love is this mysterious force. Love is that which moves the universe. Because we sit still until a desire, and a desire is a symptom of love. It's an attachment. Love is what moves us. Love is what grows us. And this world, look at the Christian misteachings. You take a partial truth and then you convince everyone to believe that they're sinners, and then they live a life of a sinner all their life. You convince people that nobody is perfect except Jesus, and then they make excuses for not becoming perfect, not even trying to be. These excuses and blame, man, it is here. Thank you for allowing me to ramble. The point I wanted to get back to, though, is with time, the only thing that matters is right now. So if you can feel at peace right now, well, that means you've put down your stress. It means you've put down your hate and your opinions. And so if you can feel at peace right now, then choose which opinions you pick back up. Choose which stresses you pick back up, which responsibilities. I have the goal of ending wars and being a part of bringing global reforms. I have that goal. All I have to do, though, is just be me. And I truly love being me. And I hope others can learn how to love being themselves. Slav Guru, it has got to be a lovely, bizarre experience to be you.
Sorry, Jack, I was just napping. You were saying something?
I friggin' love you, man. What do I do with you, Paul?
Wow. What can you do with me, right? It's really not what you did. You do what you can, right? Not what you want.
Hey, that is true. Well, I'm going to call it like it is, Paul. I think you're too resistant to us working together. And
no. Just to be clear, this was going great till you went down this narrative hole. And it's not going to go well, but you're down for it, and so am I. But, don't get upset when we start broaching this narrative, because I'm not resistant to us working together. I'm not even resistant really to any aspect of who and what you are. I'm not accepting of certain perspectives that you put forth. And I don't believe I have to be. There might be many perspectives I put forth that you don't accept. It just so happens that typically my perspective and my beliefs about you affect you more than your perspectives and belief about me, which is really just a testament to how much you love me and respect me. If I really choose to look at it that way. If you didn't care about me and respect me, you wouldn't like get so emotional about it and then still have me back. You just say, fuck you, get the fuck out, and then not have me back. But, you know, ultimately, again, what is what is. And I try to see what is in all situations. If I can't determine that for myself, or I determine something contrary to what's being told to me is, then I have to go with that until it's revealed to me otherwise. So then I just take that space. Maybe there's something about Talcott I and everyone else are not seeing and getting. I leave it open. You know, I have this image in my head like a movie where I've been right the whole time. It's obvious and true. And then I go to die and I do a whole Aleister Crowley. Oh my God, what have I done? Because somehow it gets revealed to me some cosmic twist that Talcott was right all along. I leave open that possibility. That's a nightmare, right? I've now described a nightmare that I'd be living in a way. But hey, wouldn't be the first time, no? I mean, you know, we've been here a while. Wouldn't be the first nightmare we found ourselves in.
You just reminded me of something. I have to bring this back up.
What now, man?
Hold on. Let me make sure. What's going on? Okay. Holy crap, where is it? Very brief. Whoops. Damn it.
I was thinking something, guys. What if Jack Talcott is the spiritual guru that we've all been waiting for? What if we're just
I had the
missing
same
it?
epiphany, dude. I thought the same thing. Like, he
What
is
if Jack's the
not
guy
lapping it up.
and we're just not getting it? It is Jack. We've been waiting for him, and now we're just missing it, dude. Could you imagine?
But dude, you know what? He is actually a part of it. He is a puzzle piece of the truth.
I was thinking something.
Well,
that's conclusive proof if I've ever seen it. No, close the books. Cast the die. It's over with.
Hey, first the truth is rejected, and then it's mocked, and then it's hated. There's some progression there, but it's coming.
Right. And again, there was a hint of sarcasm going on there with them.
Of course.
But in every, jest, there is some truth. Again, I couldn't live my information unless I was like all these other false non-gurus. If I wouldn't put forth the idea that there's one self. So on the highest level, conscious and awareness, when it comes down through the dimensions, if you want to call it that, it presents itself and manifests. So, my journey is your journey, essentially. So I'm not quick with the grandiose claims. Hey, I'm a second coming. Hey, I'm a Christed being. From all I've studied and what I see and the results in my life nowadays at the ripe old age of 33, now just turned 34, it all adds up to me. I go, I'm right on time. The ministry's cracking. I have understanding of self. I've put myself with the truth as an enemy of the state, not because I'm going to do nothing to anybody, because they want to kill, steal, destroy, and use legal policy to do it. So I may as well be a version of a Christed consciousness at this time here right now. If that's true for me, it may be true for you as well. And for me to deny that would be my own undoing, right? But again, then we have to see the pieces that line up and don't line up. And where they don't line up, we got to move them and get them to fit.
That's right. Hey, Paul, you said something. We are experiencing each other's life, and this is what you brought to us to share. Lou Bass, welcome, brother. You're today's a new day, and as far as I know, you're welcome. As far as the Christed being, I believe we are when we walk in love as the living truth. And narrow is the path. The path of truth is that on the narrow path of truth, we are able to view and see multiple perspectives. And that's where humanity has become brainwashed, right? This left-right paradigm, this black-white, American non, whatever, citizen non, all this nonsense. Paul, we are the Christed return when we unite. But, and as far as my words of my experience, I choose my words cautiously. I won't say correctly. I choose with my words with intention. I'm not claiming to be a messiah, a guru, anything of the sort. As a matter of fact, I'm a very humble man who says, if you're interested in these topics, please ask. I'll point you in the directions of others I've learned from. But Paul, if
a humble man don't buy subscribers. Right. Don't get me on this list, motherfucker. This is what I mean. You got some. He starts laughing. He goes, I don't know whether to be. That's a good stage because I don't know whether to be triggered in mad or laugh at it. Because you have to honestly look at ourselves and each other, and you can't deny that we're constantly getting pulled in and out of pure awareness and consciousness and presence into this monkey body and this monkey state of beingness, right? And playing the games in and of the world to some level.
But I didn't buy any subscribers.
He goes, my buddy did it. I didn't do it. I gave the money to my buddy. He did it.
No, dude. And I don't even know for sure that any subscribers were purchased. I know investments were made in advertising, and who knows, man. This life is an adventure, and it got us to here.
I didn't pay that hooker. Michael Cino did. She just fucked me.
Holy cows. That was the excuse I told myself the first time I was with a prostitute, because my roommate paid for it.
Got a habit of doing this.
Yeah, I found a way to make excuses for my behavior. Hey, back to the point though. We are going through a shift, an energetic shift, a different time of humanity than has ever been recorded from us. The goals I'm suggesting are actually what would be the fulfillment of prophecy, right? If you look at Christ as the symbol and archetype of love and God as the truth, right? Truth and love. Truth and love are these powers that make us who we are. And in the return, it talks about the character archetype of Jesus returning in the clouds, leading an army towards a greater world. Dude, we're in the clouds, right? And so if we recognize this part could be true, maybe we are part of that army that's bringing humanity towards a place of love. And if we end legal secrets, man, truth would reign supreme. That is here. That's the tip for relieving yourself of stress. find out what information you've been resistant to accepting. Because when we stop resisting the truth, when we stop resisting all that is, stop resisting who we are, what we know, or each other, and we just flow. Flow from moment to moment. I started talking about this for a reason, and I'm sorry, I forgot. Did you guys want to say anything? Welcome, Young and Fearless.
What's good, Jack?
Your audio is... I can't edit your mic. Your audio is way low. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's just like tiny bit. Anyway, you're welcome. You're usually pretty quiet and just kind of in the back. You're welcome to be here. So, Paul, what if I don't know.
What if you take Flow State's wrench because he's a horrible person, and he's getting this rush of power, false power. Like, you can tell. I don't know if you can see these things, but he's like overjoyed that he got to you again, like they always do. Exploited your kindness as a weakness. Get to live through you and your platform like they try to do with me. They never get to me, but they get to you because you're more loving and caring and open to receive. And I'm just tired of watching the same process happen with Michael and this guy. It's always a nasty hat beta boy with a filthy t-shirt and some mom at home that neither of them respect each other, who just have to live through you. And now do you see what he's doing lately? Making videos with my name and face on it. We've never seen that before. It's the same fucking pattern every single time, Talcott. And I look forward to a day that comes where you just cut all the bullshit with yourself and everyone else around you. Fuck them. I see you for who and what you are. I'm available to love and care for you. If you're going to play games with me, I'm cutting you out. Right? And then they got to come correct. But the more this keeps going like this, I know that you say that I've done this. I've highlighted it. But there's this part of you that's perceived by people as gullible and naive because people take advantage of you for your caring and loving heart. And then they get this thrill. I watch them. They go around and go, you can't stop me from being at Jack's place now because I got a wrench and I can ban you. He's down there banning me. Like, bro,
What
do
are
you
you
forget
talking
why we're
about,
all
dude?
here?
You're making up so much weird
Oh my
shit
God,
right
I
now.
wasn't even talking about this beta boy specifically. He just came up as as a thought of someone like him, and now here he goes. This is what I mean.
How many times did you say my name?
Stop.
You're a liar. You're an infidel yourself, Paul.
Hey, Moose, please. God bless you. It's good to see you today.
So you weren't doing it either, Moose? So you weren't doing it in the chat 2 days ago with Flow State? You're like a beta boy team.
Hey, well,
you're like the Wonder Twins.
I didn't block you at all.
You were blocking. Go ahead, Jack, real quick. You were blocking people down there at Flow State, and both of you were laughing and giggling about it. And it's the most pathetic thing. And then you do this thing. Didn't you do this?
They can behave themselves
real quick,
and
because Jack wants to go, and you're talking over me because you got no respect for anyone. And I'm trying to be respectful here today. It's taking a lot with the people I have to deal with, but I'm trying my damnedest. Okay,
you weren't being respectful.
And you're doing it again. I'm not finished, and you're trying to rile me up, and it's not going to work.
It's not about riling you up. It's about the
not going to work today. You were down there in the chat, and then you do this thing. When I call you out, you go, but Jack's place has to be kept safe and on his agenda.
Paul.
It's like, it's pathetic. We know what you're doing. Jack even knows what you're doing, but he wants to desperately believe someone's going to help him and work with him. And you're taking advantage of that. I don't do that. I say, you're a fucknut. I'm banning you if I get a wrench.
Paul, damn it. Don't try it. Don't set the intention to punish those who are showing support for me.
They're not really. Jack, I'm telling you, they're not actually in support of you and your goals. They don't care. That's
Well,
evident about their own life. They don't care about their own goals in life. Why would
I
they
mean,
care about
you
yours?
prove
They're
that every
here for
single day,
power and
Paul, when you come here
validation.
and you demean him and you demean his whole show and his message. I mean, you do it
Oh,
every
the
day.
moose. Oh, there goes the
I'm
moose. So
not
we don't know
backbiting. I'm
what
saying
week
it
is
to
it.
your
Hold on, let me
face.
check. Oh, it's the week now. This week, Moose is on Jack's side. Till he gets in his feelers and decides to do exactly what I do whenever I do it for
Hey,
different
Jack,
reasons.
I apologize. I didn't mean to do this. Jack, I'm going to go back in the crowd.
Right. You should have stayed in your hole and
Thank you.
left your Agent of Chaos vibes out of here, because I'm not that.
Paul, he brought up some points to consider.
But Jack, you have to consider the source. This is what I'm trying to reveal to you.
Paul,
You never consider your source. These are disreputable, bad faith, backbiting, two-faced, infidel beta males.
Paul, please. This is what I'm trying to get through to you, is start looking past your judgment of the source. Okay? Because the source,
Jack. So you know what? I'm wrong.
messenger.
Moose and Flow State and Snafu, right? Just the three lowest miscreants on here at this time. Because every few months we get a new crop who take over as top 3 miscreants. They really just care about Jack Talcott and his walking journey. Are you kidding? They're 3 of the most selfish, self-absorbed, self-interested, ego-motivated know-nothings on here, right? Who really are going nowhere at the end of the day. But go ahead. Go ahead. What was the kid yesterday's name? Goblin? Go ahead.
Paul, despite the know nothing and going nowhere, you're describing you, man.
Whoa. Now you're going to insult me? I'm insulting them and you turn around and insult me? How fucking dare you? I'm trying to bond with you over insulting them. You whip around and insult me and equate me with a bunch of loser failures who have no purpose and meaning in their life other than to get wrenches. I give out the wrenches. I don't beg for them everywhere I go. And I don't give any out either. So I don't beg for them. They give them to me, right? I give them out, but I don't give any out. You don't see where the power is at, Jack? You don't see where the self-control, the responsibility, accountability is at? This guy's got mods in a chat for 78 viewers after a week.
Hey, actually, Moose, I saw the comment. I have seen some of the activity, and I see that you have been, even though we're not, even communicating.
He's supporting you because he's angry with me this week. Don't you get the broken hose syndrome? When he's up under daddy's armpit, it's Jack's a joke, right? When he's broken bad for the week with daddy, it's I'm promoting you again, Jack. Yeah, but then watch where you get the devil in the details. Has he ever promoted me? No. He says he has an audience of millions of people. Has he ever given me access to that audience? No, because he's self-motivated and self-interested and doesn't want to fuck up his grift promoting his daddy, who he said helped make him a better man. So he'll promote what's good for him. That's convenient for him. That isn't too risky, but he's not going to really go with the real deal and the authenticity, not in his ways, in his life, or even with his content.
Hey, I've experienced lack of authenticity in the past, but he's another guy. He's trying to figure himself out and trying to figure each of us out. That's what we're all doing. We're all trying to figure ourselves and each other out.
Jack, you might be right to be a little more stern with this, because honestly, Paul is making a totally accurate assessment here, and that might not mean much coming from me, but what you just said about Moose, I think, was pretty on point. Be wary of that dude. Be very wary.
Well, here's another part, and actually, I kind of wanted to discuss it with you, Paul. I don't mind being used. If I'm able to be of benefit to another, and especially if I know what's going on, I'm participating. Yeah, I got no problem being used. For greater good.
That's the thing, right? Is like, I guess if you could create a situation where there's always a mutual benefit, and there's an accurate understanding, right? My only contention is everyone want to use each other. Great. Do you know where you stand with everybody? And usually, no, that's not the case. Everyone knows where they stand with me, right? So these folks, you don't know where you stand with them one way or the other. It's only until you get into a fight with them that they start telling you all the shit they don't like about you, that they were upset about, and what they're going to do now about it. I don't do none of that. You've had ups and downs with me. I've never misused the keys when you gave them to me. I never did anything. Just like Yurt person. He goes, I took the keys from you 2 weeks ago out of fear of what you might do. I go, bro, you think I'm going to do something to you and your platform? I can have a disagreement and walk away and come back the next day and start all over again. And I can still retain my perspective on someone's beingness in life based on what I see.
Paul, hold on here just a moment. I'm starting to wrap my head around Moose's perspective a little bit more, okay?
Yeah, he's got a shitty life and lifestyle and marriage.
Hold on. No, you have not actually been grateful for all the things he's shown you loyalty for quite a while.
Loyalty for what? Who said I was in this for motherfuckers to be loyal to me specifically?
Well, this
rather than truth.
Paul, this is something I've been trying to communicate with you too. Your resistance. You judge yourself as, I can't yoke with you because I'm up here and you're just lower than pond scum.
No.
Bullshit, Paul.
I'm a common man who's following the common law with common sense. You got scum who are way beneath me. It's not that I'm so up here. I'm common. I'm common from the beginning of time. You got peasant scum who've chosen to be beneath me, what they've done and not done.
Paul.
It's got no reflection on how high I am. It's how low everyone else is choosing to live.
Paul, I'm not going to argue, but I'm asking you to try and understand what I'm saying.
I am understanding what you're saying, and I know why I'm perceived the way I'm perceived, and I'm okay with that. There's a standard of truth that has to be hit here if you want my respect. If you don't hit it, you don't get it. Why is it even that important to get my respect? Is then the next question one would have to ask. Why is it so important so many people are looking for my respect rather than all the other people around? Because it's so important. Why is it so important? Because it's so conditional. You got to do and be something to get it. It's called value systems, right? It's called like basic economics, supply and demand. You can get respect from a whole bunch of cupcake bitch ass motherfuckers who don't do nothing on here. It's harder to get it with me. You got to do and be something.
That's right, but that's
so it's more valuable, right?
Paul, I'm offering that your judgment, you withhold your respect. And you offer.
No, it's natural. I don't withhold it. It happens naturally. I don't even have a choice in this shit.
It's not natural. You can learn acceptance and you can learn how to be.
I'm not going to learn. I refuse to learn how to accept someone's incompetence. Why would I do that? That would be less for me and them. That's foolishness.
Well, see, then you're going to continue to be in the dark.
I'm okay with that if that's my walk.
But I'm offering you, it doesn't have to be your walk. I'm offering you that, hey, I don't know the right words to say. Only you can choose what you want and who you learn from.
I'm telling you, this has become a core of my beingness. I love and care for all beings as much as in me naturally. And I have a natural selection process, right? Like they talk about natural selection. I have a natural selection process that comes up in me that identifies possible liabilities and threats. And I'm not going to dishonor that completely. I can check that and direct that and focus that, but I'm not going to ignore that.
Let's come to facts. Liabilities and threats are imagined. They are
no, they're not. No, they're not. They're very real, and they'll cost you your whole life and reputation if you don't understand that.
At this moment in the past conversations I've been trying to have, there has been no real threats whatsoever. Okay?
I'm not saying there has.
Well, you've created many reasons to keep yourself apart from me and others. To
Right,
include
but
your
this is
father,
the thing:
Paul.
is why is it no matter what we're doing, it always winds up back down this road of how I need to change, even when I'm not doing it to you.
You don't
It's like we
need to.
always wind up
When you-
winding down this road of how something's up with me and it has to change because I'm causing problem for myself and others. That's a you experience. You can
Hey,
change that experience too. You don't
right.
have to accept that as our whole of our experience.
Right. But Paul, the topic I really was wanting to flow with was stress. Okay.
Right.
We don't have to bring stress to each other, resistance, disagreements, conflict. We don't have to do that. That's a pattern of the past. Okay. And shit, you said something there I did want to come back to. I'm sorry.
It's about discernment. Moose has not shown loyalty for himself, the truth, his family, you or I. He was disloyal to all of us.
He still has the opportunity to become loyal. He still has the opportunity.
We all do.
We all have the opportunity every single day
Right.
to reinvent ourselves, to realign ourselves.
But first, you got to take account of what you've done and not done. And you need to be honest with yourself and everyone else. And that's the part everyone keeps missing. It's part of the 12 steps. You have to go back and see where you've been a fuck nut and a fuck up and incompetent and disconnected from life on life's terms and why you've generated such shitty results. My results, I'm not complaining about. Everyone else is complaining about their results. My results are better than ever. So why is it the one whose results are better than ever, who's not complaining, is going to take advice from others who are constantly complaining about their results?
Hey, Paul,
Bizarre.
once again, hey, Paul, well, it's only bizarre to you because of the narrative you're describing. If you bring back, if we come back to your words before that we're all equal, right? Each of us is bringing a different perspective, maybe
We're created equal
of the same thing. We are all here present. When we're all present, we're all equal. Now, if we're in a competition with each other, maybe then, or a fight, maybe then there is one, but I'm not aggressive and I'm not defending.
I don't necessarily accept the claim that presence establishes equity. Just because we're both present and aware in this moment does not make us both equally equitous as beings. Past, present, and future, based on what we know, don't know, and how we apply it. I don't accept that.
Well, then your rejection is illogical, because in the context of what I'm trying to offer, discussions, the way to resolve disagreements, okay? It's to get past.
I don't have a disagreement.
Well, Paul, actually, your contradictions of me. Well, I'm just going to use me as the example.
Yeah, I have perspectives of you and how you live and how your life could be better. I could share them or not. I don't have disagreements on how I need to live. I know how I need to live. I'm doing great.
Paul, you just mentioned in this conversation, people need to do a better job of accepting accountability for the things they do and say. And that's what I'm offering. You should probably be doing with the things you've been saying about.
Okay, specifically what?
Holy Christ.
Jack?
Narcissist, liar, backbiter.
I actually see some of those things. You want me to deny what I'm experiencing to make you feel better? I'd love to do it, but I can't.
You can do anything that we
I know, but I suspect that I'll be in trouble with the universe if I was to just accept that, hey, I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. I'm going to ignore all these things I'm perceiving from you and then even speak that back to you. I'd be in trouble, and so would you, in a different way.
Well, unconditional love does not mean being in denial of what we don't like. It means acknowledging.
It means showing up every day with a new slate and having an open heart and mind to what may come forth. And I do that every day with you.
Well, no.
And every day you disappoint me.
Every day you create these expectations I can't achieve for some reason.
No. There's no expectations. There's an understanding here that you absolutely can achieve, and it's not that difficult.
if you
We can't have
separate-
love until we're truly free. We can't be truly free unless we have love. Didn't we go over that yesterday? That woman gave me a quote and I just went off on something that, crystallized again for me. So I'll meet you halfway. You're Mr. Love Guru. I'm Mr. Rights and Freedoms guy. So we could take a little something from each other, presuming I wasn't already a loving man. But I'll give you the Socratic method, argue from the most negative standpoint possible. There, done. Paradox resolved. Over. Let's move forward. Go and be free now. Show me what rights and freedoms looks like. I've been waiting.
Well, what would rights and freedoms bring? They would bring peace. They would bring,
Within oneself, as much as you could attain it in this slave hole. Yeah, because you've done what you needed to do on record and in front of the world and these people and stood on it. Yeah. Makes you feel like a man for once.
I heard a definition of freedom yesterday that is the ability to fulfill all of one's desires and choosing not to. And I thought, wow, that could be true. Because freedom in this realm, freedom comes with money, comes with wealth. Once you get the money, then it puts you above the laws. And then fucking equity and responsibility go out the
you're
window.
going in and of the world.
Hey, that's the way the world has been. Okay?
Freedom starts in the mind and heart. Your ass follows. What happens after is not your concern. You're born free, and then you choose slavery.
Temptation brings us into slavery. It's the demonic forces.
Somebody who's impervious to temptation doesn't get tempted into slavery.
Who is above temptation?
Completely, probably none of us. But with certain things, I mean, could you be tempted away from your livelihood, from your destiny, from all the things that are your birthright? It's one thing tempted into eating another piece of candy or cookie or whatever else. I mean, we could argue that, or, with a woman, but there's certain birthright. We talk about God-given rights. I mean, if you could be tempted away from that, I don't know what worth you have here. All the other stuff is kind of like, ethical stuff.
Right. Well, that goes right into the spiritual here. And actually, it was said I made a false claim, and I may have. People have slavery imposed upon them as well. But if we're speaking, and my mind was at is slavery of the mind. It is created through pursuing temptation. And damn it, now I distracted from what you just said, Paul.
Right, I'll help you out. My father's down there still acting like he's in a teacher role when he's for a long time been in the role of needing to take on a student of life position. So I don't know why you're like verifying, validating, truth can't be validated nor invalidated by the ignorant.
Well, but
these are cliche statements everybody learns from everybody. Like, do you actually experience that? You really experience that, where everyone you meet, you're learning something from.
Tell you what, every new moment is an opportunity to learn. So why?
Yeah, that makes you a student of life. You're not learning from anybody. Right. You're learning from life. I meet 1,000 slaves a day that I don't learn a motherfucking thing from except how not to live.
Well,
maybe I'm not looking for the right thing that I need from them to learn.
Paul, you open it up for the asylum and the asylum shows, but you're going to learn what is available to be learned through the days of the life, and life is learned about through others. Others narrate what is known about the world, and that's how we learn, is through each other.
So I learn through others' skewed perspective of a narration. It's just I have self-knowledge. Knowledge is self is knowledge of the universe. I don't need to know other slaves who don't know themselves to know myself and therefore know them in the universe. That's backward logic and foolishness.
This is why you're
Bring my father up. I want to hear him repeat again what I'm going to learn from him today. I want him to show me what I'm going to learn from him. Other than that, he's ignorant. Oh, wait, remember that. I already learned that a long time ago.
You're demonstrating your denial.
I just want to know what all these people are learning from with folks and what they're teaching constantly, what folks are learning from them. I want to know what this perspective is that I'm not grasping. I'm the fool, like the man says down there. To argue with a fool means you're doing the same.
Right.
I'm constantly doing that here.
What I see you're not grasping, Paul, is what I'm trying to say, that your behavior, you're placing yourself above the truth when you are rejecting the narration, the perspective of truth that's being offered by another. Now, specifically, me. I'm telling you, hey, Paul, this is what I see of me and my life and you.
So it must be true.
Jack, you don't know. You're just foolish and blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
blah.
you know what? Let me just accept everything you say about yourself and me and my life like everyone else, and I'll be in a great position, right? If I just fucking openly accept everyone else's interpretation of themselves and me, which is rarely on point.
No.
In any arena.
Hey, Paul, rather than assume everyone is a liar and incompetent of understanding themselves, how about you allow their version of themselves to be true unless you find obvious
conflict. That's what I'm doing.
No, what you are doing
is I'm going to withdraw now. I'm going to withdraw from this conversation because you had to take us down this road that's dissolute, because you won't be accountable and responsible to the truth I put forth. Okay. I've accepted what you've put forth.
You're leaving? Is that what
I have to leave now? Go. I just can't withdraw from this interaction?
Okay. Yeah, let's please sit back. Chill.
Please don't go.
And hey, Paul, just as you're trying to Lori, why do you not listen to Paul? He presents valuable wisdom. For some reason, when it comes from Paul, you seem to reject it. No specificity to that charge nor claim. I'm happy to discuss anything you believe has been valuable from my perspective that I've somehow rejected. And then when others attempt to offer the same wisdom, you seem to accept. If I'm open-minded to everything, I listen and receive information. I don't judge people as unworthy to listen to. I judge people as unworthy to trust, but I trust the information and my ability to discern truth from non-truth.
And that's the problem. Everyone does that. Everyone objectively thinks that they have the handle on what's going on with them in their life and other people, and the results and the root of the thought pattern do not indicate that they have a handle on it. That's why self-awareness is a motherfucker. Like flow state, creating labels and intros and outros to do a 40-second clip off a panel with my face to get 70 views because he thought it was going to go somewhere. So one of us is lacking in self-awareness and awareness of
the worst of all the videos. Of all the last 10 uploads I've had,
but you still went to do it. You still went to use my name and my face to generate interest because you have no personality, no content, but think you're going somewhere. You lack awareness.
Or
I just made another one public about you. Ta-da! Thanks for advertising.
It doesn't matter if I advertise you. You suck and you're going nowhere. People will never ride with you in the way you are on the whole. You're not a empowering, inspiring, successful being. You have no values. You have no scruples.
That's how you see yourself.
Flow state. Excuse me. Just read my name.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Right. This is where I'm now put forth as the fool, and you're all, I guess, the smart guys in the room. Okay, we'll accept that, Paul. I guess.
You're right.
We're playing now. We're online pretending, so why not, right?
We can get in our feelers about opinions, or we can discuss facts.
Right. We can discuss facts like numbers. Oh, It's not about numbers. Fiat. Oh, it's not about that. Even though they always go to that when they're mad or when they want to do competition.
What is
we can go to live streams and individual results.
How about
Okay.
we come to the
Yeah, no, we're not going
present?
to go to any of that.
How about we come to the present, take a breath. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for hanging out today. Sunday of Fellowship, a day of faith and fellowship, encouragement. Maybe we've got some brilliant minds here, some well-educated folks, well-experienced. Believe it or not, we're the ones our ancestors were praying for. We're the ones who everyone's been waiting for. It's us.
Some of us.
Well, we get to choose.
Me particularly.
I think it's all of us, because in the future, well, God will reveal the future for each of us, but I've been pretty clear about my ambitions and my goals, and, probabilities and likelihoods are what they are, but my faith is in God. See, I worship love. It's through love that I learn the truth. When I judge others as, beneath me or above me, it's a little harder to understand them. So I don't do that. I accept the world that God is revealing to us with joy, with such joy. So, do you know how amazing it feels to be alive? Do you
Never
know?
experienced that. Never really.
It's fucking amazing, man. We get to live. Stop and think about that. We get to live today. There will come a day where we do not. And while we live, we get to feel things. We get to learn things. We get to do things. Today,
we're taking this back to like day one, kindergarten class. Like every time we get pressed on the facts and the issues and the challenges of life, we just take it all the way back every time to like, hey, we're alive. We get to like feel stuff and do stuff. Yeah, we know. Is this going anywhere ever?
I think he was moving on to the anal tape thing. Suntan.
Hey,
I ask myself that every day.
Well, since it's being mocked, yes, I am trying to bring it back to childlike simplification, because that's what God created. God created simplicity and obvious, and the obvious is real, the obvious is true. Truth is simple, simply requires acceptance. So yes, Paul, I'm saying let's get back to the basics. We are children.
Right, there's childlike and there's childish.
Amen. Please learn the difference.
Yeah, I've questioned authority.
Do you hear that?
I've looked at.
Do you hear that tone in your offering? You hear that? Just
pride is the devil's juice.
Well, no, it's praise be.
You're speaking on things you don't know what you're talking about.
That's untrue.
It's blasphemous, sir.
That is untrue. I'm speaking only that which I'm comfortable saying. And, if I say something, while I may misspeak, and there has been occasions where I stand behind my words and I can explain my conclusions from typically many different perspectives. So I'm not speaking about things I don't know, Slav Guru. I'm saying our egos, that primitive beast within us that's been taught to fight and survive, and, it's nuts. We can overcome all of that stuff by recognizing we don't know it all. We only know a little bit, and let's break it down. You were mocking, okay, so you get to live and you get to feel. All right, you're mocking that. What do you do with that? What are you doing with the fact that you get to live today and you get to feel today? What are you feeling? Pay attention.
Jack, I don't mean to be rude, but this is kind of sounding Jim Jones-ish right
Now,
before
when
the
you say I don't mean to be rude, usually the person is rude afterwards. So just don't say anything at all, Scott. That'd be all right.
Yeah, let's go back to like the broadcast you run with Dirty Larry. An hour of dead silence. That works great.
I know there's a perfect answer somewhere. There's a perfect balance of all these things. We're working,
bringing truth, value, entertainment, and yeah, we found it some places.
Well, it's growing and it's being developed, and I think it'll be maturing. The idea, though, seriously, our feelings, that's like our ancient wisdom that teaches us, that guides us. It's our spirit, and our feelings are important, and there is a connection to each of us. We're energetic beings. We share energies of consciousness through thought, energies of, well, behavior together. And we're here to help each other become greater. I trust and believe in that.
I have a question from the panel, actually.
Huh.
Who believes in the power of, do we manifest reality and manifestation, or in the law of attraction?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Does anyone not believe in them?
I don't think so. Well, and great. So let's follow that through too. If we can accept that there is power in manifestation and, power in our thoughts and words, we've got to be more responsible. I heard this from James. I didn't pull it up. I guess from James 3 somewhere. The mouth is for blessing, not cursing. And I've thought that through a little more. Yes, we've got a mouth with the power of word, the power to express truth or confusion, love or hate.
Yeah, well, the phrase is, what would Jesus do, not what would James do? And we know Jesus cursed, so.
Nice.
I don't have the judgment or knowing of others, so I choose to curse as little as. A curse is a blame, right? We blame others. We're cursing them. We're placing the responsibility and darkness onto another.
Yeah, there's culpability. Sometimes folks need to take culpability to stop avoiding accountability. So blame, as you put it, can be a very good thing. Establishes right from wrong.
Well, with honorable people, accountability is accepted, and then there's no reason to blame. It's just what you said.
Exactly. And I find the majority of folks to be dishonorable, bad faith human beings who care more about how they're perceived than how they're actually living in the results they're generating.
But Paul, is that by nature, by choice, or by lack of knowledge?
I think it's a little bit of nature, a little bit of nurture. I think we have an animal body, and like Parsons the pig, it wants more in its bowl than in your bowl.
So if somebody's not been enlightened and they're walking around all slaved up, I mean, do we hold them accountable for being just fucking idiots?
I don't understand. So now you want to escape accountability because you have ignorance of the law?
No. I'm not ignorant of the law at all. Not me.
I'm saying you're, as in you, like whoever's in the hot seat in that scenario.
Well, I can't convince half my family to fucking even pay attention. So yeah, I'd like to give them a pass because I think that.
Well, that's because you have nothing to offer. That's if you had something to add.
Yeah, there's coming from out in left field in a fucking strawberry patch. Some idiot is talking.
Right. So the same person who tells us get back on track, don't argue with fools, now pipes up to act like a fool and make accusations. So we really can't win, right? When we're doing controversy and drama, it's bad. When we're having real conversations, we're going to go to the controversy.
When we stop competing, it's peace is
There's
there.
no competition here.
Well, there seems to be. Maybe
certain results have been achieved and attained on certain levels.
Hey, actually, what Scott was asking was a good question, and it ties into your behavior. Is it our place to judge and condemn those who have not been enlightened, who have not yet learned? No, it's not.
What makes you think that that's judgment and condemnation? You're using heavy words that have little meaning day to day. It's discernment. We go over this day after day. I'm discerning right from wrong, and I'm going to call out what I see as right from wrong.
All right, you've placed yourself into this position where you don't judge, but you discern.
I've not placed myself in any position. That's your ego reaction.
Your ego.
I retain the status and standing of I am that am. You said yesterday, Baba Wanyama said that we are pure consciousness and awareness, which is the closest thing to being God we can be. So I didn't place myself in that position. I was born in.
Paul, you're assuming.
No need to raise your voice.
You're assuming.
There is a need to raise my voice.
You're assuming God placed you into positions that you have chosen to place yourself in. Now you're evading, denying, deflecting, distracting, avoiding responsibility, Paul Unslaved. Okay? You said earlier people need to become accountable for their words, right? And there you are, back to mocking. He's in the background. It's just...
But he just agreed, at least implicitly, by not disagreeing in the law of attraction, right? So if you put out and focus on the negatives in everybody else, whose fault is it that you keep seeing more people with bigger negative?
You just did a subjective claim from your feelers.
What is untrue?
I'm answering and they're talking over me because we can't have a debate without their emotions. We can't have a discussion or debate without their emotions constantly involved and invested.
Here, go ahead, Paul.
You made the determination that I'm treating everybody like how I treat some people. You made that determination. You made it everybody. Everyone doesn't have those results and that experience to report with me. It's a you experience, not an everybody. Stop presuming to speak for everybody while telling me I can't speak for everybody. It's rather hypocritical.
You might have misunderstood me because I feel like what you're saying in response doesn't align with what I said.
There's a reason why I speak to you with a certain tone and inflection and why I focus on certain areas, because I've ascertained you to be a dishonorable.
Well, you had this tone and inflection well before I got here.
How does that make it? How could I have a tone and inflection with you well before you got here?
The point
because it's not just for me.
Yeah, you carry this tone and inflection of just
right. I have a passion for truth. And I will go into it. And I will go into
what it is the gaslighting ain't working no more. The gaslighting is over, right, brother. You got to
gaslighting of what?
The gaslighting you've been doing to everybody. You're getting
you're now all speaking for the three broken hull triad council speaking for everybody, but has no results and no respect from the audience. So who are you talking for except yourselves?
Hey,
the audience doesn't agree with you.
Bro? Why are you so mad? You got triggered right
The
there.
audience does. Is that what you're trying to do? Trigger people online? Is that what a man does?
That's
you're just trying to trigger me online so you can laugh about it. You're not
what a man does, Paul.
You're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish. You're jumping to conclusions. You're jumping out the windows all at once to gangbang me.
Nobody's
finish.
trying to
Because you don't want
gangbang you. It's
clarity.
just funny that you're so
He's
upset
trying
about
to
it.
trigger people just to laugh and giggle. He can't even lead himself where
It's
he
not
needs to
even
go.
that.
He
No,
can't
it's you're
trigger
a
folks
liar.
to get a response and then
You're
lead
a
the person where
liar,
they need
and
to
I wanted to
go.
correct the record.
There's
but you
no
won't let me
equality in
correct
what
the
I do
record.
and what he does. He's a miscreant online who gets no respect from anyone, including folks in his own home. Are you
Right,
kidding?
You make sure
The gaslighting's not over. It was never here.
You offer plenty of time and energy to make sure that he receives no respect, just like you spend plenty of time and energy to make sure I receive no respect.
What
You're a
have you
hypocrite,
done to
Paul.
receive respect? What is he?
There we go. Oh, you know what? I took that
Moose
as
done to receive respect, and he can't answer.
Who can't answer? There's plenty.
What has Moose done to be perceived as respectable by me or this audience? He's done everything he could to be perceived as disrespectable, but not respectable. Why is there other people who retain respect for me in the audience no matter what goes on? Why is that the case?
Let's use your level of discernment, and you tell us why he should be respected.
Oh, why he should be respected?
Yeah. Or are you blind?
Respectare by definition means to take a second look at. So I have technically respected everybody. I've taken 8 months to a year of second looks at everybody, and I've seen way too much and plenty of enough to make a determination of.
You've only
The gaslighting,
seen your
man.
opinions.
I'm sorry, Jack, but the gaslighting, it's like, it's constant.
You mean, what do you want me to compliment him on? Is that what you mean? Rather than respect him as a man for character and principles? I'll compliment him on many things. I think he's funny sometimes. I think he's a clip maker of videos.
As a fellow human being, another child of God, what can you identify to share that would be a reason to show respect to Moose?
I haven't seen much of anything.
I'd second that.
Show your blindness, your lack of care.
So it's a me. Okay, so I can see plenty of things in other people at times.
Plenty of wrong, plenty of bad.
Well, I see all of it. Knowledge of good and evil, right? Because I have knowledge of self, right?
Things. You go so far, you imagine shit.
Okay, what have I imagined exactly?
See,
another false
there's
claim.
The gaslighting again. You said so much shit. You have to,
Duping delight.
and write that shit down if you actually want to refute it.
Right. Okay. So now we're doing the whole everyone who's mad at me this week take up together and try to.
Nobody's
prove me
taking
wrong.
up together. I'm just saying that it's time for you to improve yourself.
Okay. Says who now? Are we going to take a vote?
Says the fact.
Because I'll listen to the audience. If I get 1.4 thousand folks,
I'm tired of this. I'm interrupting you. I'm taking control again.
Hey, Jack, can I ask one question before we move on?
Yeah.
All right. The one question I want to know is, if Paul's so great, why did he lose a channel of 20,000 people? And he has this other channel he's been building up for 6 months or whatever, and he's still not even broken the 2,000, 3,000 mark, 5,000 mark or whatever. He's always talking numbers, and we're all pieces of shits or whatever. I'm just throwing it out there that we're all not as great as we think we are, and we could all learn a little bit more from each other, and we could humble ourselves.
Yes.
This ego trip is too much for me.
Actually, viewers per stream has dropped about 20 or 30% since I first learned of him.
Well, how he does his life is up to him. The results, my results, I'm not looking for a subscriber count. I'm hoping to, I'm hoping these conversations actually might offer some encouragement and maybe open the minds of other people. Paul, while he brings personality and energy, that's for damn sure. And when cooperative or when he feels comfortable, it can be a lot of fun. The purpose I wanted to get into today, and I always do, brothers and sisters, is the topic of faith. Okay, the topic of our Creator, our life, the possibility of greater things. That's what life is about, is growth. We grow by learning, not by rejecting and continuing the same looping arguments, Paul. I'm done with those looping. But let me hear, in Paul's defense, at least he allows us to keep trying.
I'll give him that.
My son stopped. My friends stopped.
Yeah, I'll give him that. And I just want to reiterate that I do believe in the power or in the law of attraction and in manifestation. And if Paul's seeing negative in everybody around him, then probably Paul needs
Snap
to change
back
up his
to
approach.
reality.
I mean, look for the good in somebody and then just practice that. It's mental discipline.
Hey,
Yes,
real fast,
look
can
for
I
the
correct
good.
the record, Jack? Okay.
Please.
So I've been with my wife for it's going to be 10 years, going on 10 years in November. We've run 2 successful businesses together. We've worked independently apart from each other in our own careers. And I think it's funny how he comes on here and constantly says I'm a loser failure in all aspects of my life. I understand it comes from a place of maybe envy or just trying to be the top dog all the time and trying to push other people down. But I really don't respect the whole fact, like talking about my wife, saying she's a goofy bitch and stuff. She's one of the most supportive people I've ever known. She actually, when she found out that me and Jack had like a falling out, she was actually concerned because she actually knew that what me and Jack were creating was something that I actually cared about. But I actually thought that doing what I did was going to help Paul and Jack come together and work together. And that is why I did what I did, honestly. And it was wrong. And I think he continually abuses the fact that I've done that for him. And he comes around and he just, he shits on you, Jack. And it's not backbiting. It's just, it's getting old, Jack. Like, do you want to live like this forever? Do you want to wake up every day and just be in a constant argument about, hey, oh, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing? Well, how are you ever supposed to do what you're supposed to be doing when you're constantly talking about not doing what you're doing? I'm so confused, man. And I'm saying this respectfully. I am honestly fucking confused at what he expects.
Hey, Moose, could you drop your information in the back chat? I'd really like to come up there sometime, pay you a visit, and just thump you on the nose.
Scott, that's cute. But we both know that your shoulders don't work and you're not really a tough guy. So let's be honest here, dude.
I'd wear you out with my left, little boy.
See, that's the
I want
thing. You're playing-
tacos.
I'm not here for that. You're trying to pull
Sounds
into
good.
the ego
No,
games.
it's okay. Hey, we'll leave it be. If you're going to
I'm
settle
sorry
down
for
and
hurting your feelings, all right?
No,
I apologize.
We'll
that
leave
was
it.
fucked up.
If you want to leave it be, we'll leave it be. But you got to hold to it. If you don't, we'll go through it.
Hey,
It's all good. There's no need for that here, Scott. I'm saying truce. This is Jack's platform. There's no need for this conflict anymore.
I actually believe Moose. I think that, yeah.
I'm good.
I got you, Moose.
Nah, it was fucked up what I did to everybody, dude. I honestly, I admitted it, and I'm man enough to say, dude, I'm tired of the games. I'm tired of like this shit's. I thought it was like going to be a one-time thing, but this is like every single day. It's driving me nuts. It's really boring.
Moose, when you drop the boy, the man will appear. That may be happening right now here.
well, here, I want to address Damsel Medic. I don't know if you and I have even had conversations, but I've seen many of your comments regarding me and Paul, and I find this fascinating. I'm not sure what the context or who this some of you is. Some of you don't know the definition of gaslighting, manipulate someone using psychological methods into questioning their own sanity or powers of reasoning. Paul is doing that on a daily basis, manipulating people into questioning their own sanity, their own powers of reasoning.
And that's exactly what Damsel Medic is doing right now.
Exactly.
And for a time, he had me even questioning my own self. Like I was questioning my like ability at work. I was questioning my relationship with my wife. Like, oh, is everything really all right? You know, like it's kind of fucked up the way he like tries to turn these, little things into like mountains. And it's like if you look for all the bad things in the world, that's all you're ever going to see. And I see the opposite of that. So then when I get fixated on the bad shit, that kind of just throws me for a loop. And the reason why I act the way I do around people is because I was playing a character on Paul's show. I was trying to get the people to hate me because there's a love-hate relationship. They're supposed to love Paul, hate me. But the thing is, it was never supposed to get into the personal aspect of my life. But now it's completely personal,
Well,
and
hey,
it's
Moose,
and
that's
I took it personal too, Jack. I'm sorry. Like with you, I've already
Moose, if that
apologized
was
for
going
that.
to work, Paul would have had to stay in the babyface role. He's not capable of doing that. So if you were pimping him out as the babyface, then you were all wrong.
well,
The story sounds like a WWE storyline.
Exactly.
sounds like fucking soap opera,
Bonkers.
high school fucking drama. It's bullshit.
Exactly. So I'm done
So,
with it, Jack.
Moose,
I'm ready
right.
to move
So
on.
thank you. That's what I wanted to offer. Is I'm glad you did set the record regarding to try to clear the
Bro, do you
record.
have your beard shaved into stripes?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Bro,
Okay.
it's like a zebra.
I just noticed it. Tripped me out, sorry.
Right now I'm fishing.
You've been doing that for a while. I saw you
You know-
earlier. Caught anything?
Jack, if I may, I think that Flow State just tried to take this broadcast and try to put some fun back into it. He tried to put some levity. I think
By
is the word.
interrupting me when I've been sitting here patiently. I know. I see what people are trying to do. Hey, here's another great supporter. Lou, how you doing?
If you catch any fish there, Deadpool, just leave it by the side of the fucking water there. Lou Bass will be buying about a month to pick it up.
Hey, how's it going, Jack?
I actually
I
caught a
just came up-
3-pounder yesterday.
Cool. What? Where are you?
I am actually right in the back of where I live.
No, but I mean,
outside
what
my
state?
apartment.
What type of fish would it be that you catching?
Bass.
Oh, nice.
Bass. I live in New Jersey, so bass, sunnies, catfish. Those are basically it in here, and a shit ton
Do you
of
eat 'em?
turtles. No,
Fire.
this is runoff water.
That's cool. Nice
Like,
size
I've
bass.
caught turtles. Yeah, a lot.
Turtle soup.
Anyone have interest in talking about the topics I kind of like
Please
talking
continue.
about?
I'd like to hear, Jack. My apologies.
Is Moose still here?
Yeah.
Hey, Moose. I understand what you're saying, that it gets old, it gets boring, the constant attacks or whatever I forget how you characterize them. I'm not characterizing them as attacks. But it seems to me that if a person arrives at that sort of conclusion regarding another person, whatever the situation, then a person would have to take into account whether or not this is something that is valuable for them or not valuable for them. And if it's something that they feel is absolutely not valuable to them, then they need to make choices to move along, right? And I question.
Yeah, but when it's the other person, it's
Maybe I
we
should
gotta
follow.
sue this person, we gotta sue that person, we gotta do this, nah, man.
Here,
This whole double
hold on.
standard thing is crazy.
Let me,
For
yeah, let
everybody.
me, Lou, let me jump in here because if I were to follow your advice, I'd kick your ass off the panel again and never let you back up.
Okay.
Same thing with Paul.
And you can do that.
I know I can. I know. And so here, what you're describing, let's take this into the bigger picture. That's what we've got a lot in this truther community wanting to do is just, well, I see a problem in the government and the economics, so I'm just going to move along. and I'm going to pretend that this problem isn't continuing for others that are existing today. See, I see what Paul is doing with his gaslighting. There is good. He's getting results in his method of darkness for the good. But Lou, the powers of our mind are misunderstood. Okay, so the words we speak are very, very important, not just for ourselves, but for those who receive the energies of our words. And I've tried pointing it out today to Paul, even today, his little whiny feminine bitch energy coming out. It's a demon.
It's a
I'm
diamond.
sick of allowing it's black magic, wizardry, gaslighting, trying to convince other people to believe in a reality that does not exist. That's what Paul's been doing. And here, I'll yield. That's what
I mean, for me, I can only speak about how I experienced this, really. And I have experienced this whole panel and Paul, and because it was Paul that I was attracted to, and I came here because of what I heard from him. So I can only go based on my own experience, and I could say that yes, I've had my moments where I felt like it was attacking, or I felt like it was some sort of I don't know what other word to use, but attacking sounds like a good one. And I had to stop and think for a moment and really be honest with myself.
I'm gonna have to stop you. This is total gaslighting BS.
But I never
yeah,
got to
total
I'm
BS.
hearing a long-winded explanation.
Okay, let me
I
slow
agree
it
with
down.
Moose.
Let me
no,
speed it up.
Get to
Let
the
me speed it
point.
up.
What is the conclusion?
Okay. My point is this: if the fact that Moose came up to talk about how his relationship is with his wife, and they had these businesses, and they had just that alone, that he would feel the need to come up and speak about that, says
Feel
that
the
there's
need
something in
or be
Moose that is
trusting.
questioning.
Well,
and I
hey,
think
Lou,
it would be
Lou,
smart.
Lou, I'm going to interrupt you there. Once again, you're rushing to judgment without seeing the good. So the other to what you're saying, he was trusting. And I'm not speaking for Moose, I'm speaking for myself. I was trusting enough with those who I was with to share vulnerabilities, things, maybe I even had some insecurities about in the past, because being honest and open, it's a way of humans connecting. Now, Paul he thinks he's a god, so he places himself above other humans. So he doesn't understand that. He sees vulnerability as a weakness. And if you don't understand that, Lou, do you see vulnerability as a weakness, Lou?
No, I don't. No.
Do you see trust as foolish?
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
But I believe that discernment is very important in both of those things. You have to have the ability to discern. And I would ask you, do you trust Paul or do you not trust Paul? And I would ask the same thing to Moose. And if in your heart you truly don't trust this man, or you truly don't see value in this man, then as a man, it would be incumbent on you to move away, to step away, right?
Yeah, that's totally true,
Partly
right?
why he's not up here.
I can't see it any different, right? But
hey,
people
Lou,
keep coming back.
Hey, Lou, right.
It goes the other way around, Lou. You keep gaslighting.
I'm gaslighting now?
Well, you're
because
making
he keeps coming back too.
Yep.
Well, this is what he does, right?
Well, Lou, right. You've been
That's
so
gaslighting.
focused. Yeah, you're focused on blame. Lou, listen.
Okay.
You're focused. You've done the same thing with me. You're doing the exact same thing with Moose now. You're trying to paint the picture. Well, that's just how Paul is. Paul does nothing wrong. So if you're weak enough and you can't accept his negativity, well, you need to move along. Again, Lou, you are an enabler. You are an enabler one who encourages Paul's arrogance and his negativity. So
Well,
you're part of
way
the problem that
myself,
I've experienced, Lou.
Right. The way I think of it for me is I take what I feel is valuable with Paul or with anybody for that matter. I absorb what I feel I need in my life. I try to apply it. I try to see if it fits, and whatever I feel doesn't fit or if it doesn't work for me, I file it under G and move on. And
yeah, that's right. I've seen you blow up. I've seen you get very, very angry and all that stuff too.
I'm
So,
not saying
I
I
mean,
don't have issues.
it's just gas. I know. I'm just saying you're just gaslighting. At
Look,
this
Lou,
point.
the
You're
most
literally
effective
talking
form,
BS.
the most effective form of brainwashing is repetition. So if you're getting repeatedly hammered with perspectives that are 20% true and 80% false, and you think you're taking out the 20% but leaving behind the 80, you're gradually over time absorbing in more of the bullshit, and it shifts your perspective. So you can't. I mean, to think that anybody can accurately and consistently pick out the truth from fact in other people's claims is delusional.
Well, I personally have not heard Paul make a lot of claims. Yes, he says things that he may not know. But
you're a loser failure.
Lou, you are in absolute delusion and denial if you don't hear his conclusions about everything. He's got an opinion about fucking everything.
Hey, can I speak up for a second,
opinion
Jack?
is not a claim.
Yeah, that's it. What I want to do, I do want to tell you something. He always, almost, and I've seen this guy to a fault, preface and then reiterate at the end of his statement. Some would say, one might think. So he always absolves himself of what he's throwing at you. So if you're holding him accountable, what he's doing is saying, no, I'm just throwing this at you. If you receive it, it's yours. You own it.
Right. He has no respect for the truth.
And what's wrong with that?
What's wrong? Are you fucking kidding me, Lou?
If there's something that you
That's a good question, Jack.
Wait, is that a good question?
If he doesn't hear, it's something wrong with it.
Something wrong.
It's a
with stopping and
generalization. You're
looking.
taking personal.
Sorry?
I said it would be a generalization, Jack, that you're taking personal. Is what's wrong with you taking it personal?
No, the stupidity, the lack of ability to even think for yourself, Lou. You can't take what's being offered and understand. Your denial. This is, you know what? This is one of the things I was encouraged to talk about is denial.
You're making a claim right now, Jack.
Cognitive dissonance. People reject the truth because they don't want to agree. Well, guess what? The world doesn't give a shit whether you want to agree or not. The truth is true. Lou,
can I say something real quick?
Bring the sarcasm.
I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm trying to be as direct and honest as I can. I seem to not be able to get my full thought out, but
I was speaking to Deadpool, Lou, not you.
Oh, sorry.
Honestly, with with the thing with Paul with me, like for me, if at this point, like I don't agree or actually even listen to him anymore, but like I'll pop in just to like stir some chaos and like to like make a few laughs, but then I'm out. So I don't let anything he does actually directly involve me anymore. It's more like I'm here because I want to be, and that's really it. That's all you get. And I encourage, if you guys want to interact and do whatever with Paul, like I don't do it on a daily basis anymore, but like if I see like chaos or if I see maybe something like recently how he just totally roasted Broken System, Broken Trust, yo, that was funny. Like that was hilarious. But like that doesn't mean that just that, you know, I agree with everything, or
So I'm going to play Paul here for a minute. Say, I thought you said you don't watch him or listen to him anymore. Now I've got to go
but when
back
I
and
see
see
something
Broken
that piques
System.
my
No, I want to go see that now. I didn't see that. So Broken. What did you say? Broken what?
He teared him a new one.
What was the name?
Like it's what everyone else is saying.
Oh, I think maybe I listened to that. That's what that fucking guy's name was. Okay.
All right, here we go getting distracted again. Let's get back on track, folks.
Please.
Let's get back to Jack.
Yeah.
Let's get back
Actually, guys, it's been a couple hours. I feel fulfilled. I came on offering my perspectives on faith to share fellowship, and I appreciate the fellowship that's emerged.
Thanks for having us.
It's really good to see you again, Jack.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, Jack, excuse my shit in the chat, right? I was kind of on you a little bit in the chat. I don't mean to be, sarcastic and all that. Sometimes it's my nature, and maybe not my nature. Sometimes it's a bad habit of mine, and I get.
I encourage you to develop self-control.
Yeah. But I do believe some of the things that I was saying. I do believe that they're true, right? Where, I would ask, did you get anything from Paul? Do is there anything?
Lou, did you ever respond to my objection to what you're saying?
Sorry, remind me what the objection was.
The brainwashing thing and the repetition, the power of repetition of negative opinions about other people.
Listen, Flow State, you know that you're on the internet, right? You know that anyone can turn this off at any second, at any moment, and be completely gone and
He's absolutely right.
So he's not. So he has no response to that.
No, he doesn't see anything that Paul says or does as wrong. Well,
he actually got a little agitated at that question, I think.
Well, it's hard for people to accept. The people they admire are actually fools. And the thing, when we come out and we think we're actually presenting ourselves as, wise or whatever, and we're actually contradicting ourselves or really speaking out of ignorance. I try to avoid those things. I know how people perceive me. But Flo, this panel virtual stuff that we've stumbled into, there's millions and millions of people on YouTube. I don't know how many, countless creators. And yet here we are. We've got kind of a unique little sphere of influence where we're kind of gathering and connecting. Today, the topic drifted to one of our favorites, Mr. Paul Unslaved. He loves being talked about, right? And I don't want to follow his example in turning this channel into a gossip and blame and complain platform. I do hope to share some perspectives, and honestly, it's up to each of us. Every one of us. It's up to us to live the lives we want. And some of the things being talked about with Paul, well, just ignore it. Just move on. Just pretend like it doesn't matter. That's an option. I think it's a cowardly option. Because personally, when I see what I identify as a problem, I like to confront the problems. And Paul didn't start as a problem. He started as an opportunity in my mind. And then the reality is this is the life I'm living, and brought us to here. I don't know.
I have some thoughts on that, Jack.
Please, and then let's wrap up, though, okay?
I just think that maybe and this is not, I see all the problems with Paul, with you, but I see there's opportunity too. I see that if things can be kept in check and an understanding be, maybe brought to the front or center, you might be able to understand and trust this a little bit more, and he might be able to as well. The key to that is, I think you need to realize if somebody throws a fucking Tommy gun full of fucking darts at a wall, and one of them you feel like you're getting hit by it, if it's just they're random thoughts, they're just a bunch of bullshit. And if you take that hit, sometimes you have to wonder why you took the hit.
Actually, hey, Scott, that is true, but please, I wonder why everyone feels the need to take shots at me.
And that's only true to an extent, too, Scott. That's only true to an extent. If I keep telling you that you're, I don't know, inarticulate, you've got an accent, English is your second language, and you shouldn't talk because you sound like shit. If I tell you that over and over and over again, part of it's going to start to seep into your subconscious, whether or not you know consciously it's absurd or not.
You're right. It takes.
And I think what happens is once somebody finds a trigger, they tend to keep pulling it. That's what you're describing.
Well, I mean, that wasn't what I was describing, but that is also true. What I'm saying is people can get defensive against things that have that have no basis in reality.
Oh, it's pineal. What a fuck luck.
If that thing is being aimed at them. Scott, you anorexic bitch.
Yeah, see, but it doesn't. You know what? People just walk right out of being the man that they were meant to be into being a lowly fucking, oh my god, loathsome individuals.
What do you mean?
I just don't understand. Like this, Pineal comes up and wants to put a picture up that is just an insult to me. I'm okay with it because I'm okay with me.
No, hey, that's a good point. Pineal, what's the maturity level? What's the purpose?
There, I'll change it for you. But
it's not for me, it's for you. You have to grow up, man. Lose the boy, become a man.
Please.
And so I just wanted to say, Jack, it's interesting you were talking about acceptance earlier. I think one could say, your unwillingness to accept Paul is keeping you in this Groundhog Day loop.
Why should I accept belligerent? Hey, Christos, you're right. Why should I accept belligerence, backbiting, and negativity? You're right. My standards for myself, because Paul will not budge, and actually that's not true.
Well, that's not where I was going with it, but please continue.
Oh, it is. Well, hey, Jack, let me just interject. Let me interject real quick and just tell you why I don't like stuff like that. Because if I was going to try and train some eyes that I may or may not be able to, and I might be able to train some eyes on all this, why would I want to train it on this stream now that popped up? To be made the fool of?
You got Flo sitting right over here with a knife to his mouth. What are you talking about? People make memes all the time in the communities.
Again, that's his fucking face. He's doing it himself.
Right.
You did it to me. What did I do to you?
Did I make that meme? No.
Hey, Christos, you chose to display it.
You ruined the stream for me ever sharing it.
And you know what?
Grave sin, yes.
How about be a man? Person. How about be a man? And Christos, how about be a man and explain your intentions? Yes, Scott, I was trying to make fun of you, a fellow human being who I coexist with at this time. I wanted to get some laughs at your expense. Isn't that what you were doing, Christos?
I'm having a good time. That's what I'm
right.
doing. I'm not, people want to laugh. They can laugh.
Your good time.
Sorry, Scott, I kicked him because Christos has shown this pattern of trying to follow Paul. And that's what we were dealing with. Scott, I'm sorry that happened up here. I respect you, brother. And you were right to call that out.
Thank you. Appreciate it. The issue of being overweight, or as witness, her and Thunder fucking struck. She pointed out I'm Scott too big or something like that. I mean, if people saw me in real life, they'd be able to actually assess that versus over a fucking box in their fucking living room or, a phone on their hand. But everybody saw me in a position in that picture where I put a fucking camera up above me and I was laying in a reclined position, like laid out on a fucking bed, if you will. So it's, kind of, does it look great? No, but I don't think any of us really in a prone position look our best.
Well, here, this thought just came to me, Scott, and thank you for the explanation. There's a lesson of wisdom, right? As we go through time in our lives, we learn different information. One of the great responsibilities we have is what do we do with this information we've learned of? So obviously we can learn of information about others and we can throw it out there with no care or regard of the effects of what's being done.
Excuse me.
And this lack of care of the truth, this lack of care for each other, that's why we're paying for survival and wars. Hey guys, let's wrap this
the
up.
truth. Hey, again, thanks for having me, Jack. I'm gonna step back.
Much love, brother. Have a good night. Flo, anything from you, my brother?
Oh, I don't think so. Just, I guess to end on sort of a positive note, to take my own advice. Paul's a leader. It'd be great if he would take responsibility for his for what he puts out there in the universe and swiveled it to the positive. So here's to hoping that manifests. I'm out. Take it easy. Thanks for having me up again.
All right. Thank you, brother. Have a good night. Lou, you mentioned in the private chat you had final words.
Yes, I just wanted to mention about something that happened on Yurt's channel yesterday or the day before. I can't remember when, but I don't know if you were watching or not when Paul was on Yurt's channel, and he was sort of pushing him on the fact that he's a house husband and taking care of his children. His wife is out working because she makes more money, and he was hitting him the way Paul does. And at first, Yurt was a little bit resistant. And you could kind of feel it and hear it in his voice. And then at a certain point, he stopped that resistance and he opened himself up. And he even let something out that was pretty personal and pretty, in my opinion, would be scary to let out, especially with a person like Paul who will make sure that you see it. And he said to Paul that his son clowned him on the fact that he's a house husband, his 12-year-old son. And he told that to Paul. And I found that to be such an act of not only bravery, but intelligence and discernment on his part, because he took the moment to see what Paul was saying, to look at it, apply it in his life, see if it works, see if it fits. And I'm sure that he will find a way to make a change if he feels he needs to. And I just thought that was amazing, right? And I think that if people took the time to do that more so than to fight him on his bullshit, and I agree, he can go too far sometimes. And I tell him all the time, I've told him so many times, it takes a stone at first to sharpen a knife and then a steel. But at the end, you need that leather. And it's the leather, the softness that will make that knife real sharp. But he seems to rarely want to use that, right? Or he'll put it to the side. He does, right? Not always does he not use it, but there's times where personally I feel he could use it more, and I tell him, right? I'll tell him in the chat or I'll tell him wherever.
No,
that's all.
Lou. Hey, Lou. You waited patiently in the back. You claimed you had final words to offer. I sat here patiently. Hold on. I'm trying to understand what maybe offer to you what I experienced.
Okay.
So I sat here patiently after saying I wanted to wrap up because you got my attention, said you had some final words. So then I got to sit here and listen to your memories and opinions of a different stream, unrelated to anything that I've been talking about today, except your opinion on Paul. Now, what you then did is you proceeded to make excuses for Paul, saying that you found honor in Austin for submitting to Paul and acknowledging, well, I'm distorting your words. But Lou, you are enabler. You are an enabler. Abusive people, arrogant people, they don't succeed without others enabling their behavior. Alcoholics don't remain alcoholics without people enabling their behavior. Bullies don't stay bullies without people enabling their behavior. Lou, I am presenting the observation that you are an enabler of a good man, Paul, who has patterns of trying to bully people as though that's his job. That's not healthy. It doesn't help the future of mankind for bullies to waste the time of other people who are
you really
actually.
believe he's a bully? Really, in your heart?
What do the facts show, Lou? He has bullying patterns. He has patterns of manipulating and gaslighting.
Cyberbullying.
Welcome back,
Hurting
Paul.
my feelings.
I allowed Lou final words. You've been.
Oh, I didn't know I was
patient.
bad. I didn't know you could bully a grown man on the internet with words. Right.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know you could
You never heard of-
voluntarily bully folks online by their own
You haven't
choice
heard
to
of-
be in a
you
room with
haven't
people.
heard of the observations and reports of online bullying and harassment? You've
Right.
not-
Usually it's for like children, right? Not grown men twice my age. Right.
Children run around calling each other names and interrupting.
And throwing people out every 5 minutes and not being able to control their emotions.
Throwing
Right.
children out, yes.
No, you
Yes.
don't throw children out. You love them and lead them. Maybe that's why your women and children left.
Well, see, and here's where we're back to the paradox, right? A grown child who should be considered old enough and mature enough to offer some self-control in order for adult conversations to manifest. Because I know, like, I'm perfectly capable of discussing and exploring a variety of different topics. And brothers and sisters, for those who, God bless you. Praise God. Praise God for the day that God has revealed for us to enjoy, to experience, to share. Praise God. And praise you. I praise you. I praise you with my gratitude. I praise you with my encouragement, with my faith in you. Those of you who are sharing time today, because we are a part of something special. It's called history. And there's a lot of stories being written. There's a lot of stories being told. And it's up to each of us to figure this stuff out together. And it's easier to figure out what is true. It's easier to discern from the mounds of information when we listen to each other. See, and to listen, we need to close our mouth. And remember, the mouth, we got one mouth, two ears. And this mouth, we get to choose. We choose when to control it. We choose whether we use our mouth for blessing or for cursing. Brothers and sisters, I want to offer you my blessings, my gratitude, and my thanks. Till next time, hopefully tomorrow, I'm assuming, should God awaken, we'll be back tomorrow sometime. More inspiration, more encouragement, same goals, a better world, a better place, and a better life. Till then, peace for everyone. Choose love and live without fear. Thank you and God bless.